a satisfied customer.
Right! Pack it in! What's the problem?
They refused to give my car back.
You won't pay the reclaim fee.
Why should I? I'm not paying 150 quid. I was parked in a legal bay.
Where was this?
Outside my office in Gunner Street. I park there every day. I explained this to them.
He tried to drive his car out and to close the gate on him, didn't we, Tommy? Yeah.
Well, open up, we'll discuss this inside.
He's not coming in there.
You. Just open it.
All right, Tommy.
Can I have your names, please?
What for? We ain't done nothing.
Just so I know who I'm talking to.
Luke Palmer.
Tommy Benning.
Look at that.
Done that himself, ramming the gate.
He's off his head, mate.
Mr. Harper saw what happened.
Thanks for stopping him, officer. I was just about to call you.
Did you see what happened, Mr. Harper?
Yeah, I did. He comes storming into my office swearing. I told him no money, no car. He just jumps in and drives straight to the gate. He could have run Tommy over.
How many times do I have to tell you my car was not parked illegally?
Parking attendant raided us from Gunner Street to do the pickup. It's just doing our job.
They're all in on it.
In on what?
The council mafia.
I'm not sure you've got any grounds for complaint, sir.
Yeah, I thought you'd side with them. You just get them to do your dirty work for you, don't you? You just contracted it out to these bully boys.
Sir, your road tax is out of date.
What? It's in the post.
3 months overdue.
Well, I'm really starting to wonder what sort of outfit Mr. Harper is running up there.
Yes, well, I don't really think I need bother the committee with anything you've told me. The tow-away operation's never going to get any plaudits, is it, Andrew?
Cars dented and scratched. Aggressive and abusive
Look,
behaviour.
it's nothing to do with us anymore. That's the beauty of it.
But the public still think we control it, sir. That's why we have to field the complaints.
Bound to have teething problems.
It's still costing police time and resources. Dave Cunningham and Steve Loxton are up there now, sorting out another
Look, do you
dispute.
really want vehicle removal back in our laps? Because that's what's going to happen, you know, if I start pouring cold water on the scheme.
Couldn't you just suggest a less bullish approach?
They have to be allowed to do their job. It's out of our hands. Harper got that contract fair and square.
Oh, to be honest, sir, I'm not at all sure that an outside agency should handle this sort of work.
Look, just leave the politics to me, will you, Andrew? It's none of your concern. Just count yourself lucky you're an inspector. You don't have to sit through endless council meetings like I do.
You'll need to produce your documents at a police station within the next 7 days.
Typical, isn't it? Call the police, end up being booked.
Which station do you want to go to? Sunhill?
Suppose so. What about my car?
They won't let you have it back until you pay up.
Look, I'm telling you, they had no business lifting it in the first place. Like I thought, you're in it as well.
Mr. Paranoid or what?
Yeah. Still, I wouldn't put it past this lot to be drumming up business. Can I have a word, please?
Yeah, what is it now?
Yeah, we need to speak to the parking attendant who called you out on this one. Can you remember who it was?
Penny Grice. It's got eyes like an hawk, gets us a lot of business.
Good.
Yeah, this morning, I remember. Blocking the entrance to the doctor's.
Mr. Griffin claims his car was in a parking bay.
Well, it wasn't. The vehicles are all photographed before they're lifted, so there's no comeback.
Did you speak to the owner of the vehicle?
I thought he was going to have a go at me.
Really?
I was ready to knee him. Wouldn't be the first time in or out of uniform. I can handle myself.
Well, I'm sure you can. Did he say anything else?
Yeah, that we were all out to get him.
Yeah, well, we are today. We just done him for having no road tax. Cheers.
Oh, Mr. Griffin, I'm Inspector Monroe. I gather you were involved in the disturbance at the car pound.
How do you know that?
My officers reported it to the station. How can I help you?
Well, I wanted to see a senior officer, but Inspector will have to do, I suppose.
Yes, it will.
I've got some information.
Yes?
It's about Jerry Harper and his mob up at the car pound. They've got it in for me.
Don't you think you might be overreacting a little, Mr. Griffin?
I always park my car in the same bay every day. Never had a problem. Until now. They must have bumped it out.
But why would Harper want to pressurise you?
He's been put up to it by Coghill, the builder.
What? Do you mean Councillor Coghill?
Yeah. He claims that I owe him money over a business deal that went wrong.
Well, what line of business were you in, Mr. Griffin?
Jacuzzi and sauna. I had the contract to do up that fitness centre in Tallow Street. I got Coghill to do the building, but then the centre went bust. They didn't pay me, so I couldn't pay Coghill. Now he's after me for his money.
But I don't understand what this has to do with Mr. Harper.
Harper and Coghill are old mates. Rotary Club, you know? How do you think Harper got this towaway contract in the first place? You scratch my back, etc.
If you thought you were the victim of a vendetta, then why didn't you tell the officers up at the car park?
Look, I just want to know, what are you going to do about it?
We'll look into it.
None of the funny handshakes, eh?
Beg your pardon?
You know? Old Pals Act.
I suggest you stay well clear of Mr. Harper's operation.
So how am I going to get my car back then?
You'll have to send someone up there to collect it for you. Can't your wife do it?
She bunked off years ago.
Someone else then, friend?
There's no one else I trust with the money.
Right. I'll just have to send one of my officers up there with you then.
What? You mean a police escort?
Ron Coghill? You do know he's a member of the Policing and Community Safety Committee, don't you?
That's why I thought I ought to consult you first.
Yes, well, I'm glad you did. Ron Coghill advised the subcommittee that put out the council contract to tender. He was very keen on Harper's outfit winning it.
Well, perhaps I should pay a visit to the car pound myself.
So long as you're not just out to prove a point, Andrew.
I appreciate you taking the time to come and see me, Inspector. I'm sure you didn't need to concern yourself.
Oh, there have been several reports of your men intimidating motorists whose cars you've impounded.
There's bound to be friction. It's unavoidable in this business.
You could encourage your men to exercise a little more restraint.
People turn nasty when you take their cars away from them. Sometimes they don't want to pay up.
Not surprised. 150 quid a go.
No, we don't set the rate. The council does. That's what people don't realise.
Oh, sorry, boss. I didn't know I was there with you. Hello, Luke. Long time no see. Do you work here? Yeah, that's right, yeah. Glad to see you're in gainful employment.
What is it, Luke?
No, it's all right, I can wait. Small world. Last time I saw him, he was off in a van to Shadwell Nick.
I assume you knew he had a criminal record?
I don't care what people have done in the past, as long as they do an honest day's work for me.
The towaway contract must be very lucrative for you.
The council are quite happy with the way I'm running things.
Nothing.
Nothing.
So,
Try Tommy Benning.
Any joy, Dave?
Not on Jerry Harper or Luke Palmer. We're just checking Benning.
Palmer? Who's Palmer?
Oh, he's a grease monkey with all the muscles.
Yeah, well, it's not Palmer, it's Didsbury. Luke Didsbury. Won't draw a blank on that one.
Well, what's he been done for?
Something to do with motors, 4 years ago.
here we are. Benning Thomas. Date of birth 21/11/79. String of twackings. 18 months youth custody, released 3 months ago.
Well, it seems like Harper's running his own rehab up there. Oh, sir.
Can't it wait, Andrew? I'm late as it is.
Well, I thought this might have some bearing on the meeting, sir.
In what way?
The team Harper's got up there reads like the warning list at Crown Court.
It's not the time, Andrew.
Luke Didsbury, his right-hand man, served 2 years for car ringing. You did ask me to look into it, sir.
Yeah, but I didn't ask you to find anything, and as far as I can see, you haven't. Hollis, door, please.
So, Mr. Griffin's come back to see you.
I've got the money
What money's that?
to reclaim my car. I want full police protection.
Here we go again.
They're closed. Gaffer said no one comes in.
All right, Tommy. What do you want now?
Mr. Griffin has come for his car.
We'll have to come back later then, won't he? You see?
Please, let me deal with this.
Back again?
Mr. Griffin has brought the money to reclaim his vehicle.
By all means, let him in, Tommy. Luke, bring round Mr. Griffin's car. If you'd like to step into the office, Mr. Griffin.
I want a receipt.
Can't park there, I'm afraid. Council property.
It's all right. I've got a meeting in the town hall. I'm late as it is.
Term its own leave.
Look, I'm a police officer.
I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to make exceptions.
I'm Chief Inspector Conway from Sun Hill.
I don't care who you are. You can't park here.
Nice car he picked up there.
Yeah.
back up a bit outside of the yard.
Running late too, Ron?
Actually, Derek, I was waiting for you. I wanted to have a quiet word in your ear before we go in.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I've had Jerry Harper on the phone.
Really?
Yeah, he says your officers are taking quite a lot of interest in his business of late.
We've had to deal with one or two incidents up there, yes.
I realise how anxious the police are to protect that patch from private enterprise. But I thought we had your support on this one, Derek.
Well, you do.
If your officers are up there every 5 minutes, it's hardly going to inspire confidence.
If the public makes a complaint, we have to respond.
Naturally, but it won't reflect well on any of us if the squad starts getting a bad reputation, will it?
The pound has to be policed like anywhere else. We can't just turn a blind eye.
Nobody's asking you to do that. Derek, I thought we were here on this committee to help each other, in a spirit of cooperation.
Well, yes, of course.
But I'm not feeling much from the police. That's exactly what I'm going to have to tell the committee.
Steve, now, since when did they start delivering cars? Sierra Oscar from Sierra 1.
Go ahead.
Yeah, can I have a vehicle check, please, Gary? Index number Hotel 508, Victor Tango Hotel.
Stand by.
No way is that an H-reg. That's exactly what I thought.
Sierra 1 from Sierra Oscar. Repeat index, Dave.
Hotel 508, Victor Tango Hotel.
According to the PNC, you're looking at a Ford Sierra that was scrapped 3 months ago. Looks like you got something.
Oh, no. What? We did have, Gary.
Look at that.
Well, told you, didn't I? They're out to get me. Who are the little green men from Mars?
Harper and his gang, they're the only people who could have got at the car.
What happened?
I was coming up to the junction here. And I put the brakes on. Nothing. I could have been killed.
Good meeting, sir.
Not exactly. Ron Coggill accused me of trying to sabotage a tow-away operation.
I'm afraid there have been some more developments in that direction, sir.
What's happened now?
Well, Dave Quinnan and Steve Loxton spotted a suspicious vehicle, a blue Rover, being removed from the car pound this afternoon. The index number it was carrying was from a vehicle that was scrapped 3 months ago.
Where's this vehicle now?
We don't know, sir.
You don't know?
Well, they were unable to pursue. They had an RTA to attend. They put out a description of the vehicle, but it hasn't been found yet.
There's still no evidence then?
It looks very much as if stolen vehicles are passing through Harper's yard. We need to act quickly.
Well, what do you propose to do about it exactly?
With your permission, sir, I'd like to apply for a warrant to search the yard.
And if we don't turn up any evidence?
We'll have a lot of fences to mend.
No, you mean I'll have a lot of fences to mend?
Well, if he'd been going at any speed on these brakes, he'd have been in trouble.
Could that have been got at?
You'll have to wait for my report, but certainly looks like it. See? Both disconnected.
Thanks.
No bother.
Maybe somebody has got it in for Griffin.
Can you blame him?
Police! You open up, please, Mr. Harper! Take both sides.
Evening, Inspector. Didn't expect to see you again.
Sierra 1 from Sierra Oscar.
Go ahead, Gary.
Re your Rover. Possibly now in Landseer Gardens. Informant a parking attendant, Penny Grice.
We'll take that.
Twice in one shift. You think fate's throwing you together?
Sorry, sir. All the index numbers are legit.
That comes as no surprise. If there was anything here, it's long gone.
Are you sure you won't stay for a drink? Only I've got Councillor Coggill coming around later to talk about today's events. He'd be delighted to meet you.
No, thank you. That'll be all.
I thought I'd just do one more before I knocked off. They always think they can get away with not paying at this time of the evening. But 6:30 means 6:30, doesn't it? Not 6:20.
Yeah, I suppose it does.
Thought it was a bit dodgy when I was taking the number down. This is an H reg. It's a brand spanking new Rover.
Yeah, well, that's why we've been looking for it.
And there's another thing. There's been some respraying too. There's corrugated stuff round the bumper, look.
You're on the ball, aren't you?
It's what I'm paid for.
Dave, they haven't bothered to lock it.
Right, let's check the chassis number. Get the bonnet up, Steve. No wonder they were so trusty.
I thought you were going to stop interfering. It seems you're intent on destroying a perfectly efficient service.
That's not at all my intention.
How else do you justify a full-scale raid on Mr. Harper's business?
I don't have to justify police methods to you, Mr. Coghill.
Don't you? It may have slipped your mind, but I am a member of the Policing and Community Safety Committee.
But right now you're in a police station, not a committee room.
You knew about this investigation long before the meeting, didn't you? You deliberately misled the committee.
In my view, the council did not look into Mr. Harper's credentials sufficiently before awarding him the tow-away contract.
It was put out to public tender.
But was Mr. Harper's the best bid? Or just the cheapest?
What are you insinuating?
Oh, nothing. Nothing at all.
Just as well.
What have you got?
Well, it's definitely stolen, sir. The chassis number matches a Rover taken in Birmingham about 3 weeks ago.
Well, that's something. Are Dave and Steve still with the vehicle?
Yes, sir.
Sierra 1 from Sierra Oscar 1.
Go ahead, sir.
Dave, I want you to leave the Rover in situ. Can you park up out of sight and keep it under oboe?
Received.
Go ahead, Dave.
Guess he's just showed up. Sierra Oscar from 1.
Go ahead.
Suspect's now on plot at Landseer Gardens.
Sierra 1 from Sierra Oscar. Dave, don't move in until the car is off the ground.
Stand by, Steve. Go, go, go! Can I ask you what you're doing with this motor vehicle?
We're removing it. It's illegally parked.
Is it?
Yeah.
We have reason to believe that this car's stolen. I'm arresting you both as...
Hold it.
Nice choice, Speedy.
We've checked the chassis number. We know that Rover was stolen 3 weeks ago.
I don't know anything about it. I just get told to pick him up on the truck.
Quarter 8 in the evening.
Well, perhaps it had been abandoned now, I don't know.
Come on, Luke. We saw the same car on the back of your truck this afternoon.
I pick up hundreds of cars every day.
Why did you take the car out to Landseer Gardens this afternoon?
Did I? Don't remember.
I'm sure you'd remember a car with no engine in it.
Don't drive them. Just lift them.
You thought the police had rumbled your little sideline at the car pound, didn't you? And no better place to hide a stolen car than out on the street, right?
I ain't seen any more to me briefs there.
Interview terminated 8:56 p.m.
And you leave the boy alone and all.
Tommy Benning is entitled to the same rights you are.
You need about protection again, are you, sir?
I've come to produce my documents.
Oh, right.
And to find out when I can get my car back.
I thought you already had it back.
No, it's been taken to the police pound.
Oh, yes. Well, I'll deal with this first, shall I?
Is that Inspector Monroe around?
No, I think he's tied up at the moment.
On the square, is he? One of his secret lodge meetings.
I'm sorry, sir.
There's no point in acting dumb. I know that you're all in on it.
Steve, Mr. Griffin here was wondering what's happening with his car.
Still at the garage where it was examined.
And what did they find out?
We'll have to wait for the report.
But I need to know, so that I can put in for my insurance claim.
You've got insurance, have you?
Yes, I have.
Excuse me, sir.
What?
This insurance certificate seems to have expired last week.
I'm sure I renewed it.
Don't tell me. It's in the post with your road tax.
I suppose your postman's in on it too, is he, sir? Must be a conspiracy.
I like working with Luke, do you?
He got me the job, didn't he?
And now you're in trouble again.
Look, if I get done, yeah, will I finish off in proper prison this time?
Maybe. What if I told you that you won't be going to prison, but in all likelihood Luke will?
But this ain't down to Luke.
All right, who is it down to? Somebody stole that Rover.
Well, Luke don't thieve no more.
What about you? Do you still steal cars?
I've got a job, haven't I?
You've also got a record.
Look, the car nicking's nothing to do with us. It weren't even nicked in London.
Tell us something we don't know.
That was Harper's orders. It's him you should be grilling.
Mr. Harper?
He has the motors brought down here to be ringed.
In the pound?
Yeah.
Who brings them in?
I don't know.
Come on, Tommy.
Harper has them nicked to order. Rovers mostly. Changes the engine and chassis numbers.
And you just do as Mr. Harper tells you, is that it?
No, I do what Luke says. Look, I told you about Harper, so can I go now?
What else has Harper told you to do?
Sort out that Griffin bloke.
What do you mean?
Harper said the bloke owed Mr. Coghill money. Wanted us to lean on him a bit.
What did you do?
Bumped his car into a double yellow line this morning. When Penny found it, we was round the corner ready to pick it up. You're not going to do me for that as well, are you?
Interview terminated 9:12 p.m. Lock him up. Evening, Mr. Harper. I hope we're not interrupting.
What, Ned?
You invited me for a drink, remember? Well, aren't you going to introduce me? It is Mr. Coghill, isn't it? I'm Inspector Monroe, Sun Hill. I think you already know Chief Inspector Conway.
Evening, Ron.
I'm just here on an inspection on behalf of the committee.
Oh, that's funny. I'm doing the same thing on behalf of the police.
But it's actually Mr. Harper we've come to see.
Oh, yeah, what for?
Jerry Harper, I'm arresting you on suspicion of receiving stolen vehicles. You do not have to say anything,
What are
but...
you talking about?
Who knows? They've been winding me up all day.
I'll leave the politics to you, sir.
Thank you, Andrew. Well. I expect you'll be wanting to talk about this at the next committee meeting, Ron.